is not a word that is used in science. We can show evidence for. We can create a certain degree of confidence that an effect is what it appears to be. We can make measurements. So what we can say is that we have high confidence at this point. That the nature of randomness changes when large-scale world events occur. It's not clear what it proves yet, because it's not even entirely clear what the proof would be of, other than somehow mind and matter are connected, or reflect each other is probably a better way of putting it. I've noticed in the last decade or so, the number of academics that are interested in these topics but have been quiet is getting larger and larger. And I'm not exactly sure why. The times have changed. There's new openness to new ideas. Maybe because the idea of mind-body connections is no longer considered a lunatic fringe, but is mainstream, and people are more open to new ideas. So this is like a new ancient idea that now it's becoming not quite, you still can't quite be public about it, but the number of people has grown, so there's a restlessness which is occurring, and I'm the lightning rod for it. So I present the issue back to them, saying, well, why am I different? The only thing that makes me different from you is that I was willing to take a risk. Because I'm interested just like you are, except that, I'm willing to say, well, it seems more interesting to me than things like having a very secure career. Because ultimately, something interesting. That's my philosophy.
quantum view of the world, the thing that is most important is information and knowledge. That seems to be the driver of everything. And in addition, the more you look at individual particles, the more you realize that there is no such thing as one electron. An electron, or any elementary particle, exists only in relationship to other things, like other particles or the universe at large. This means that deeply enough, when you dive down into the nature of matter, everything we know about the everyday world dissolves. There are no objects anymore. There are only relationships. There's no locality anymore. There's no time anymore. It all begins to dissolve away. That's why I use this idea of like the Cheshire cat dissolves away and all that's left is a smile, and eventually that goes away too. The more you look at something in detail, and what we think of as solid matter, the less and less solid it begins to look. And eventually there's nothing left. There's only information and relationships. Well, that doesn't sound very satisfying, and it certainly doesn't match our everyday experience. It makes the world seem way too slippery, way too ephemeral. And even worse, if it is true that the fabric of reality at very deep levels consists of some kind of strange, not quite energy, not quite matter, informational relationships among things, then how can you build up from that to the world as we see it at large? It's as though you have the fabric of reality, or you're able to hold it, and you're looking closer to it, and you see that, well, it has threads, and there's the warp and the woof of threads in it. But the closer you look to the threads, the more you realize that they're actually not made out of anything. They're like relationships that give the appearance of being made out of something. There's actually nothing there. So This is what has led some people to look at the relationship between what people like the founders of quantum theory said, what Einstein said about the nature of what is the fabric of reality versus what Buddha said, as an example. And if you take out some of the jargon and you then compare the two statements one next to the other, you can't tell anymore what Einstein said versus what Buddha said, because they sound really, really close. It has a lot to do with the nature of some sort of ephemeral, we don't know what to call it. From that emerges everything that we see and experience.